I want to know more about Tanzanian culture, so I'm going to immerse myself in this world.
Moja, tatu,
Tremendous value is placed on human interactions, relationships.
Last night, those drums gave me agita. Try it.
Someone give me agita.
Go away, you're giving me agita.
Go away, give me agita.
If one can generalize about a national culture, it's a hospitable one. People are interested in assisting each other.
Also, men aren't supposed to cook in public.
This is much harder.
A welcoming nation.
What happened back there?
What's happening there? Well, it's only she won't marry you, and after marry you, you're supposed to giving her some goats.
Oh, that's a chicken. No, chicken. I'll catch this one. Right behind you. Oh, shut up!
I thought catching a chicken was a big deal in the Maasai culture, but I was wrong.
You ever kill a lion?
Yeah.
You killed a lion?
Sure. 3 years ago.
Scary?
Sure. And I killed by use of spear, you know?
The Maasai are nomads, yet even they would consider themselves Tanzanians before anything.
Tanzanians identify themselves first as Tanzanians, not with their ethnic group.
It's the type of milk that's doing this. I mean, the tree doing this.
Is it poison?
Yes, when you touch this with eye contact, then it's a problem. You can have a problem with eyes.
So, should I wash my hands?
Oh, exactly, yes, you have to.
Tanzania boasts of having over 120 ethnic groups. But we have one unifying language, that is Kiswahili.
Kuna yeyote mwenye chupi ya maji baridi? Chupi ya maji baridi. Chupi.
They say to understand a culture, you must speak the language. But I guess you can't learn everything about a culture in 1 month.
It's not so much what Americans can learn from us, but it's what we seek to share with each other.
Chris, nampenda, you know what it means?
Yes.
What is it?
I love.
Oh!
We love.
Okay.
I do feel like I'm starting to understand this world a little bit better. And now I'd like to know what I can do to help.
Anything if you want to help us, you can help us.
How can we help you?
By giving something like knowledge. It will be more important more than giving someone your money and go and do something.
Right now we're young, we have fire in our hearts, we want to change the world, but we don't know how. What can I, a 21-year-old, do to change the world?
There is no way on God's earth I could tell you any set of instructions or rules that would make you go out and do great things. I don't do great things, but I'm a good human being.
I think the most important place to start, though, is with one's mindset.
Start with knowledge. Get to know Tanzania.
One of the most important things is that people become educated about the topic.
You have to be open to understanding other cultures and how things are done.
I think people should go find out and not decide here what someone else needs.
That is not to say that one comes in and imposes, one's view on others.
What would it take? Let's build a plan together.
Because we can't afford as a planet to have another billion people continue to go hungry.
We have to be active to know that what our country is doing that affects those other countries.
And so it's very important that the youth in America and Western countries are a voice of advocacy for these countries.
The ordinary American, like you and him, what can you do for Tanzania?
And how much money you got right now? You?
In the bank?
In your pocket, how much you got now?
In my room I have probably $800.
You got $800. Take 100 of them and go do something good with it. You want advice? I'll give you advice. Take 100 of it and go do something good with it. But do it now. You will have started a trend.
Yes.
And if you continue, brother, you'll find the path. It'll come to you. It will.
Follow your interest and figure out who's doing what, and then offer to help.
There's so many places to start.
There's 1,000 flowers blooming.
There are scores of organizations.
I can go on for 2 hours.
This isn't okay. We need to work to change this, and this is how we're going to do it.
So I'm back in New York, and I can say that all of my assumptions about Africa were wrong. I didn't see any of those images of starving, depressed children in the streets. But I did see people in Tanzania who were incredibly grateful for the little that they had, who weren't complaining about the sandals they'd had on for 5 years straight, but more interested in learning and going to school. Teenagers who were welcoming and excited about life, and who were happy, in what many would consider the worst of circumstances. I learned more from people in Tanzania than they could ever learn from me, and I think it's only right that they're given that same chance of life an opportunity that we have here in the United States. Here are some things that we can do to help.
So I've interviewed the experts and I found some great organizations doing work in Tanzania. Grab a pen and write this down.
Peace House Africa, a non-profit. Its mission, educating AIDS orphans and creating brighter futures. The Bahati Foundation, a leadership school being open to the most underprivileged girls in all of Tanzania. And of course, the United African Alliance Community Center, where hundreds come for housing, food, and a free education.
So donating time to any of these organizations is a great way to help. Donating money also goes a long way. At the UN Millennium Promise, pennies could literally save a child's life. But we also have to make sure that our government is playing its part and donating at least 0.7% of the GDP to foreign aid. If all rich countries did this, we could eliminate extreme poverty worldwide within a decade. We can also support Tanzania by going there and visiting one of its many national parks. But most importantly, it's up to you and me to spread the word about Tanzania. Because shouldn't everyone have the same chance of life that we have here? I'm Chris Bashinelli, and I hope that you will bridge the gap.
Blondes or brunettes? Or redheads?
We're going to have to delve into that one. Whoa!
What's the greatest thing that we can learn from the Tanzanian people?
That's a really difficult question.
There are a number of things you can learn from us, but first of all, it's not just one thing.
I've heard that before, some psychological, I don't remember. But I've heard that before. But in relationship to me, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Do you mind if I just drink some chupi amaji barini real quick?
Hamna tabu.
Chupi?
Chupi.
I thought it's chupa.
I don't know.
Which means cold, wet underwear.
That's why they were laughing at me over there.
Yeah.
I'm Chris Bashinelli, and I hope that you will bridge the gap.
Do you think it's important to bridge the gap to Tanzania?
It's very important to bridge the gap.
I think it is important to bridge the gap to Tanzania.
It's incredibly important to bridge the gap.
It's important to bridge the gap to anywhere in the world, not just Tanzania.
There are some serious gaps, even in a globalizing world, that need to be bridged.
Americans will be better off understanding African cultures, and Tanzanian culture is, I think, a great place to start.
And remember, for more ways that you can bridge the gap to Tanzania, log on to www.bridgethegaptv.com.